so much fun. I'm going to paste it in here so you guys can just go. Yep. Thank you, Branson. Thank you. Thanks, Janet. Oh, that was what you didn't do. We have a stick it down challenge for Australia. So if you want it, message me or Darcy.
Janet, we did it. Jonna and I just did it by ourselves when we were there last year.
Hey, Debbie.
Do it with Jen with Autogram, and then I said,
I was just waiting for them to leave. Hey, Judy. Bratty Patty. Hi. I don't think you've been here before. Welcome. Hey, Dot. Hey, Joycey. Jeannie. Yvonne. Hey, Jean. Eileen. Jilly. Oh, you're quite welcome. I wasn't doing anything anyway, so. I haven't done this in a while, a night stream. Not since the old house. So it's got to be about 5 years now. Welcome, welcome, everybody. I hope you're enjoying all of the streaming today. We had some great streams so far. Hope you're learning. Hey, Bonnie. Shauna. Yeah, I was dreaming all last night. What am I going to do? So I thought I haven't done a mixed media face in a long time. So, and it's going to be a little different. It's going to be a little bit abstract collaged background, and then I'm going to paint over top of it. Happy New Year, everybody. Hi, Laura. Michelle, Terry, Seeking for Art, Hazy, Janet, Helen. It's good to see you all. This is great. So I thought I would do, now I'm going to be using first for the face, scrapbook paper and tissue paper, some paint, and then, Eileen, you're not going to like this. Ink tints. So I have these. These are my small set. And I'm going to be using the darker colors for the shading of the face. And I'm going to use it with a paintbrush. Now, I could have used, remember this, you guys? Remember that? And all of you had to go out and find it. That was a few years ago. Janet. I should probably be happy to go to your stream now. So when I was cleaning, you know how I've been cleaning with emptying my boxes and rearranging my studio and all that. Well, it just so happens that I like ink tints so much. I have an extra box that I'm going to give away tonight. And it's never been used. It's still got the paper in it and everything. So at the end of the stream, I will be giving this away. So it's a good one to start. And if you like them, there's like 80 colors more. So this is a good one to start with. Send them to Eileen. No, she won't talk to me ever again then. You're not going to try? So last Thursday, I did this. And if you're not aware, if you're new to the channel, I do a lot of sketching with pen and ink. I do enjoy it. And this is just a little card that I'm going to be putting in my, it's kind of like a journal a day. And this is for today. So I've put some lines on here where I can write about the day. And then I'll be starting a new book for 2020. So the way I do a daily, it's not daily really, it's whenever I have something that was interesting or something that I want to remember for later on, or maybe I want to do a recipe and I want my kids to have it when I'm gone. So I did show this last time, but I'll just give it a little quick preview of the style that I do. So there is writing in it. There's stickers. There's all kinds of simple drawing, nothing elaborate. And I use a lot of washi tape. And most of the stickers I get from the dollar store. And it's just about my day. So sometimes it's only a few sentences. Sometimes I miss a few days. But this is, it's kind of like eye candy. I love to go back through this. And it's interesting to see. I like to put the day and the temperature down. And if it was sunny or we haven't had rain or whatever. I'm a gardener, so it's kind of neat to go back to those things. And that's how I fill my book. And I just get pictures from magazines, newspapers, pamphlets, whatever I can find. So I'll probably be doing some streams with these too. And showing you more about how I do it. This is what we did last stream. I think it was at the end of the stream. So we just started this. So not necessarily have to wait till you write things down. And another thing I also told the girls is that if you're one that you don't want to have to go down to your studio or kitchen or whatever and write something down every single day. What I do is I have a separate book by my bed. And when I feel like there's something in my day that I want to remember, I write it down in the book. And then maybe once a week or maybe even twice a month, I will take that book and do my journaling in it then, and then I can play and do the cutting and everything. And it's not a stress thing anymore. It's a day to play. So I just thought I'd show you that, and maybe you'll get interested for next or this coming year. I think Eileen, I think you were interested in doing something like that, weren't you? Because it's so cool and it's simple and it's not expensive to do. That's just a book I got at a thrift, well, not a thrift store, Winners. So I think it was $5. So it's nothing fancy. The paper isn't all that thick, so it doesn't have to be clear or special paper. I just use what I got. If it goes through, it goes through. Oh, you got it? Great. Awesome. Then this is the way I don't use my washi and anything else, really. So this is a good way to use my washi up and all my scrapbooking stickers and papers. I use my papers even in some of these, my stamps and my inks. Where are the papers? There are papers from books and scrapbooking, and there's some more paper. So, you know, you just use bits and pieces up. It's fun. So, what I was thinking, how many pages do you leave for each month? I usually leave 2 full ones, so 4 pages. You yourself will know how much stuff you're going to be doing the beginning of the month, and just what I do is I'll put March on the first 2 pages, and then when I start filling in these and I find that I have more to do, then I'll put March on these 2 pages and so on. But I can decorate as many pages as I want, just a few things on each page. Just don't mark the month on each page, and then you're safe. But then again, if you wanted to, you could. And if it's not the right month, you just put a piece of paper over top and put the other month on. There's no ways of going wrong with the book. It's all do what you want in it. It's not really a pretty neat book. It's I just throw whatever I want in it. Hi, you're welcome. Yeah, Debbie. Because a lot of people, myself, I'll go through a couple months and I haven't done anything in it, but I have it all written down in a separate book. So I don't feel that guilt about not going and doing it. So when I get the time, because some people have really busy months and they can't, or they don't feel like doing it. And why would you want to do something you don't feel like doing? Then it becomes a chore, and you don't want to do it anymore. But if you know you have the words waiting for you, and then one day you can spend the whole day arting, that's great. It's kind of like a prompt. You have prompts waiting for you. Guess, do you think it wise to have the drawing? Oh, yeah, I trust them. All right, so I got out a whole bunch of tissue papers, scrapbook paper. This is just deli that I stamped on. So I did a whole bunch of stamps. I can tear it up, cut it, whatever. This is, I think this is Tim Holtz paper, but I like the alphabet on it. And then I was thinking of doing dark browns, almost black, golds for this. And then maybe some kind of antique-ish looking. And then I also have this tissue. It's like birch bark. I thought that would be cool too. You could put that on in pieces if I want. And, you know, there's another. And then this is from Patterns, Tim Holtz tissue. I have this tissue too. And if you don't want the white, you could paint your paper or put this over top of something like this and it'll take that whiteness away. Because I'm going to just paint on it, so it's not going to matter if it's white or not. So I thought I would just do a few. I want a dark area because I want to put some gold on this too. So I thought I would. This is neat. This is Tim Holtz. It's got embossed part on it, so I think I might use this somewhere. We'll see. And I always love this type of old pattern. Oh, it reminds me of my grandma's wallpaper she had in her dining room, and that faded look too. So I think we'll start off, and I'm just going to put it right over top of this. Because most of it's going to be covered up. And even if I don't cover it up, it kind of looks neat underneath. It gives it a little more depth. See, I can get you straight. So I think this is a little clearer than last time, you guys. I lowered my camera, so I think that's what the problem was. And I think I'm just going to rip things. And I don't really plan it out too much. Some things I might audition, but not a whole lot. So I'm going to start off. I got a bristle brush here. It's a little stiff. Maybe I'll get my other one. Yeah, get this one. It's a little better. Paper towel. So you don't want a lot of water in your glue because it makes the paper buckle. I don't even remember what was this was. I think it was ink maybe, but you want to put some on the book and some on the back of the piece that you're gluing. So don't be stingy when you're putting this on. And I think I'm going to put it like this. I'll use the edge for my and then you just put it over top. I think I got that part. And you want it over top of this paper because I don't want, once I start painting the face in, I don't want it to soak into the paper. I want to be able to take it off the paper if I have to. So when it's all covered with matte medium, that gives you the ability to remove paint if you have to. Okay, let's see. I think I might use some of this. I like the lettering. Let's see if this tears. And we can put it right like that. This doesn't tear the other way very well. But I can put something down on that side, I think. And I can do layers. It could be many layers if you want. Now Now with tissue, you kind of have to just put it down. You can't really paint the back of it because you'll never get it back up. It's harder to control and lay flat when you put a layer on the back. Do I have one of these. You can use these for taking the wrinkles out or the air bubbles, kind of like wallpapering. Then, so see, you can still see the trees that I did, and it looks kind of neat. And let's see, got that there. Do another something. Maybe we'll do some of this tissue. Now, with regular tissue, you can just wet it, and usually it helps with the tearing. But this has got a film on it. No, it's not going to do it. Let's try it on the back. Yeah, it's better. Now, I kind of like the rough edge, but I don't think I want it all like over that far. So I'm just going to put it to about there, I think. This is more of it's not really an organic style of collage. It's more geometric, I guess. Okay, from the center, work your way up and down. So I like that torn edge. And then we can just cut this later. And then, let's see, I think I want a really dark area. But I think I want this cut. This part. Because this is where I'm going to put the face. The face is going to go right about here. So just cut it. And because I'm going to still use a lot of paint, and then I can still come back if I want to and use more tissue or bits and pieces. There's really no way you can go wrong in doing these. It's just collage. You can just layer upon layer, really. The only thing that I like to keep in mind when I'm doing this type of art is where I'm going to put the face, because I don't want a lot of bumps where I do the face, especially if I'm drawing or using a lot of, say, watercolor. Because if you have bumps, the ink or watercolor will sit in the crevices. And depending on what kind of portrait you're doing, it's going to make the person look really old or dirty. So, paper towel. Here. All right. Okay, you guys are crooked still. There. Any questions? Just put it in caps if you do. So I'm going to dry this and then I'm going to sketch. Please don't forget. Oh, thanks, Helen. Go ahead, Laura. Ask away. Hi, Donna. Welcome. When you are, why are you showing me placing over that gorgeous drawing what, of the tree? Or the that was just a demonstration of something. Sorry. It was just I was showing what I think it was I was showing what different inks did. Okay, that's good enough to use my charcoal pencil. So I'm just going to do, I'm using a charcoal pencil, so this way I can see it on the dark paper. And it's not going to be a full face. I like half faces or 3/4, that type of thing. So just kind of, I like, it's almost mysterious looking face. A woman, of course. I like doing men though. I do. This, I don't know, this type of art, I like using a woman's face a little better. So let's see, we'll put the eye about here. Is that going to be too? I think that's going to be too short. I'll put it up further. Do the eyelid big, I guess. And her eyebrows will be in here. Kind of, I don't know, European, Egyptian or something. That's a nice thing about using chalk, is you can erase it. Bring that up like that. I have a thing for eye. I love eyes. I just think they're kind of the windows of your soul, is the way I look at it. They tell everything. So this is going to be, this drawing is kind of the map for me for when I do my painting. And it's not going to be like a real detailed painting. It's more about the shadows and highlights than anything else. So she'll have really, really lots of shadow areas. And smaller there. I think that could be down a little bit. All right. Yeah, it kind of looks funny because I'm kind of putting in the shadows over the where the eyes would be and stuff like that. I think this here, yeah, maybe I'll paint the face out first. So I'm just going to use just the Americana paint. I always like to use that in any kind of journal because I find that using the acrylic paint usually ends up making your pages stick together. And you don't want to be doing a bunch of nice stuff and then have them all glued shut to each other. That's why I use this all the time, and they're great. So this is just a light buttermilk that I'm using, and I'll get one of my acrylic brushes here. I think I'll use a flat. And I just want to basically put in my face area that I'm going to be doing. So it doesn't have to be, I'm not thinking about the shading right now. I just want to fill in where most of the light would be. I can come in with the ink tints and add my shades. Some things you can leave, like this area here, I could leave if I wanted to. But I think I will close that up. I'm going to leave the eyebrow just so I know where it is. And just a little spot around the nose so I know where the nose is. I can always go back and paint a little bit more on it. This isn't going to be a really, really like fine skin that doesn't have any marks from the brush in it. It's going to be more about shadows and highlights. I'm just going to leave a little line so I know where my chin is. And then we'll just add a bit under here. And I can also add papers over top of this too. Now, I don't know if you've, a lot of you've heard the term, but work through the uglies. There is an ugly stage, and this This is it. And you don't get discouraged when you get to this point. Because it's part of the process. You got to get to the ugly stage. Let's see, we have a bit there. And her eye there. And I need some white in here. And right there. Let's shadow that in a bit. And then just get that a little dry. You don't want to paint over a damp acrylic because it'll lift. Jen! Hi! So good to see you. We were just thinking about you. Awesome. You came in. All right, now we need, where did I put those? This one is iridescent antique gold, or maybe that one. I've got some Liquitex heavy bodied. It's iridescent antique gold. I don't know if it's gonna. And I'm gonna use one of my stencils in here. Just this one here. And I have a sponge. And let me think, what do I want to do? I think I'm just gonna brush on a bit of this in here with my sponge. Nothing crazy. Let's add some crisscrosses. And I'm going to put some in here and some in here. Well, this isn't, I think I need to lighten this bit. So I want it a bit opaque. So I'm going to have to put a little bit more. Mix it with the wet paint. So I have some combining of the gold with the cream. So I don't want a sudden some more. Okay. Okay, remember, ugly stage. Don't judge me. Okay, now I want to put a bit more paper on. I don't want white edge. Okay. Now just feather that out a bit. Then Okay, I have to dry that because I have to have it wet before I continue. Okay, now I have to make it just a bit more opaque. So I'll get a smaller brush for this. Because I'm going into smaller areas first. So I'm just using the same paint. So I'm just adding the lightest areas right now. So I know that like I said, it's not going to be like smooth look to the skin. This is just a quick abstract, I guess you'd say. So I'm looking at where the high points of her face would be getting the shine from the light source. So the tops of her cheeks here and her cheekbones would be the lightest areas. And I'll blend them out a little bit. But this whole area that I did first is kind of like having a middle ground for your blending. So you can kind of use it as a partial shade area. Hi, Sally. Or Shelly. Hope everyone's having a great New Year's Eve evening. I'm so glad you came here and kept me company. I've been pretty busy this December with Christmas and getting stuff organized in my studio and doing a lot of research for how to do better camera work and different editing programs. It's like going back to school. But I am learning, and that's good. So I'll be able to give a better picture, hopefully picture within picture. I did buy a new camera, so I just have to figure out how to do that. Then I want to possibly start some online classes for mixed media and watercolor, pastels, that type of thing. That's my big 2020 goals. I think this needs to be down a little more, so I'm going to cover that. Yeah, you got to have something to do when I only have a month left of work, so it's kind of like, you know how things kind of fall in place when most people would probably say, what are you going to do? Your world's going to come to an end. Nope. Other windows open. And you just have to be able to notice them and see the signs and know when to take action. And that's what I'm doing. I'm going to start classes and hopefully it works for me. Just sent my old Ustream camera be donated. Oh, Ustream camera. Oh, yeah. Are you thinking Skillshare, Kathy, or another platform for classes? I was thinking of Teachable, it's called. They have quite a variety of platforms. You can have classes you buy, or you can have subscriptions too, like a monthly type of thing, where kind of like a Patreon, but it's in Teachable. It looks like it's a little cheaper than Patreon. I'm still doing research, but I've seen quite a few people use it, and they seem to really like it. So I haven't heard any negatives. Are you going to take class or teach? No, I'll be teaching classes. I figured, well, I used to teach classes when I had my store. I may as well. I love doing this. I love teaching. I taught for 10 years at my store. Yeah, I will. I'll keep you guys up to date what I'm going to do. I'm not going to have, like crazy price. It's going to be reasonable so everyone can take it. I haven't, it's hard getting it's like being a teacher. You have to put a class schedule together, and I'm still figuring all that stuff out. But I think it's going to be fun. I used the free version of Patreon. I had Teaching Studio 2 in the 80s. Oh, did you, Sally? Awesome. Yeah, you were on Patreon? Yeah. Teachable has a free one too that you can start off with. That's pretty reasonable. Yeah, I may as well. I love teaching. I love sharing, and I'll still do a lot on YouTube. I'd like to do more acrylic canvas painting, that type of thing, or how, I'll just do maybe the canvas on YouTube, but the longer version as a subscription per month. That type of thing is what I was thinking. And I'd really like to get into the mixed media too, canvases of using acrylic paint and watercolor with pan pastels and colored pencils and, all that type of thing. Bye, Joyce. Happy New Year. I do enjoy it. And I was, may as well share my love, my passions. I'd like to start doing nature diaries too, where you go out and draw plants and birds and that type of thing. I just like too much. Okay, all right. I'll do that for you. No gelatos or ink tints. I don't use them a lot, Eileen, but I do like them. But I've been busy. I've been so busy with this house renovating and getting all that done. I haven't really done a whole lot of art. It's been a long time that I could really, sit down in my studio and think up things to do and paint and do big canvases again. I used to love doing that, but life gets in the way, as you all know. So that's why I'm excited, because I've worked for over 45 years. And then all of a sudden you're not working anymore. It's a big step. But I'm happy that I have a passion, a hobby, that I know what I want to do. Because there's a lot of people that don't know what they're going to do when they retire. And I think that's really so sad that they haven't found their passion of, everybody's got a creative passion of some sort. Doesn't matter if it's sewing or cooking or gardening. It could be all kinds of stuff. Filmmaking, photography, whatever you want to, you have an interest in is what you need to get into. Because it does it. Your soul needs that creativity. There's something missing if you don't have that. Let's see. I guess I can get rid of that line now in here. It's a little bit. Now, when I'm using these crayon or paints that have they're craft paint, so they're a little more gritty. They have more tooth to them, so they're easier to use with other things because they have something to hold on to. So pencil crayons, pastels, ink tens, that'll all work. All right, so let's dry that. All right, let's test this out. Where'd I put it? Let's clean that up a bit. I'll put my tin in it. Now, I'm not sure how this is going to work. It's been a while. It might bomb. I don't even know what colors these are. Let's see. I'll have to get a piece of paper and test. Where's my paper? Okay. That's the only thing I don't like about the ink tents is that you can't tell what color they are. And even the pencils, okay, that's a beautiful color. I like that. I painted my ink tins. Oh, cool. That's a neat idea. That's black. I really like this color though. I don't know if it's kind of it's got a little bit of a burgundy color in it. It's very nice. I think I'm going to use that. It might be their sepia. I don't know. Could be. It's got a maroon shade. It's very nice. The thing I like about ink tints is that they are permanent once they are on. I need a palette of some sort. Let me find a palette. I don't know where I put my palettes. I had one up here a minute ago. I had palette paper too. Where the heck did that go? Oh, there's one. Okay, I found one. Sorry, guys. I just use these coffee lids. I just want to put some on here because I want to know how much to put on. It's kind of like watercolor, actually, except it doesn't move. Yeah, that'll be nice. All right. A bit more water. So it kind of matches the, I'll have to bring that eyebrow down a bit. Kind of matches the paper that I put over here. That's nice. very, very dark here. So I'm just kind of letting it dry on its own. It's very dark here, so I'm going to put a little more concentrated in here. I'm going to blend this into the gold here. Just blend it out. And a little bit more. So you can play with the intensity of this, of the ink tints, which is nice. So if you want a little more lighter, you just add a little bit more water to it. They are quite nice to use, even though certain people say otherwise. You have to learn how to use them too. So maybe that's the problem. Let's see. Her nose would be fairly dark here. And I think go up like that. And then just round it out. I can always go back over top of this if I find something's too dark. Because it won't move, I can go back and use some more white to dull it down. I like to toss the oh yeah, Eileen. What a girl. We all have our favorites, I guess. There's nothing wrong with that. Now there's a bit of gray in the shadowing of the eye that you can throw in here. Because the eye is always got a shadow. The white part isn't white. It's usually quite dark in the shadowed areas. She's got a real dark line under here. It's very dark in here. So, this darker. And this here is darker. That chin's a little tiny bit wide there. So let's take that down a bit. A little bit of dark on the very bottom here. And I think we need some dark here under her nose. Let's blend that out a little bit. That needs to be shorter. All right. I think I need to dry that and add a little bit more white. Actually, I think I need, changed my mind. I think if I put gray in, that'll do it. Just a bit right in here. Gray it down a bit. And up here too. Needs to be grayed. All right, now I'll dry that. Thanks, Eileen. I kind of want it misty looking, if you know what I mean. So I want to put some more paper on it and see what else. Maybe some pencil crayon. Let's see. Thanks, Janet. You just play. It's paper. You can always paint over it. You can always throw it in the garbage if it doesn't work out. It's paper. That's how you learn. You just have to do it. You won't ever learn if you just contemplate about doing it. You've got to do it. And it's fun. Don't let it be a chore. Don't let it be, let that, that crappy old critic inside your head tell it to leave. This is how you learn. And you have many mistakes, you have many fails, but you learn with each one you do. So that's what I like about art, is the learning, how much you learn. Now, I could, no, I think I'm going to put another piece of this one. Right here. Yep. Because you want, this is compositions, a little bit of when you're doing any picture, painting, you have to take in consideration the composition. How is the eye being led? Is it just disappearing off the page? Is it too busy? There's no place for your eye to rest. Those are the things you have to look for. So a good way of fixing pretty well any picture, as far as this type, is a crucifix of some sort. It gives you the eye. So here we have up, this is dark down here, and across. So the eye kind of takes it across. So you have your dark areas here that's taking it across. Then you have this part here. This is fairly dark also. And also white space can play a role in how your eye catches things. So this here too, it's light, but there is dark areas. And now you could either look at this as pointing to the face or away from the page, but more than likely, because this is across, your eye is going to travel to the eye. And the most, especially in portraiture or figure drawing, if there's a face, the first thing somebody looks at is the eye. You always look at an eye. So that's why I put this here. Now your eye, this is all dark here. So it takes it into the eye and then it takes it out. Or it can take it up. So it makes your eye travel around the whole page. You just don't want to be staring at one thing. And also where I placed it is kind of on the thirds, is another pleasing look for people. The rule of thirds. So instead of being smack dab in the center, you put it off to a third of your page. All right. Now I think I'm going to put a bit more gold up in here, just in her hair. And I use this one here. So I'm just gonna, it's messy. I don't want anything. Now this could represent hair. That's the nice thing about doing modern art or this type of art. It can represent all kinds of stuff. So it's whatever the beholder viewer sees is what it's going to be. Let's see, what else can we do? I guess we should, let's take some of these off. I think that'd take forever to dry. And this is Liquitex heavy body, so it might stick. I might have to wax this. All right, and then I think I'm going to put on, I have a piece of this tissue. I just love it. Look at it. It's very, very thin though. You can see right through it. So I'm going to put a little smidgen of that. And see if I can tear it. But I love it. Can't even remember where I got it from. It doesn't tear very easy. Okay. All right, let's see. Because I think it needed, if I put that there. Just on the top like that. I think that would look cool. Let's see what it does. I'm just putting it on the top. Cool. That's neat. All right, that turned out, I like that. Make sure that's good and down. There. So far, very sparkly. Thanks, Gail. So let's finish the face up a little bit. I'm going to put a little more realism. I wonder. Let me think. I think it needs something. just a smidge. And then I think I need some black in there. Maybe some lettering or something. Let me see. Or I could put numbers. I could have something like that. No, I think writing would be better. I think I'll just write something when it's dry on there. All right. It needs a little bit more, and then I'm going to use a little bit of all right. Let's see. Prisma. Just want to finish her eyes a bit. Now you can't see her eyelashes here, so I'm just going to put a few over her the whites of her eyes, because you can see that. And then her there. A little bit more detail. Not a lot, but I should put a little glint at her in her eye, probably. Let's see. Should have a white one. There it is. No, I'm gonna have to. Little Posca. And then There she is. I'll take you out a little bit. There. I guess I could sign the name here. First, 19. So simple, simple. Use up your stuff. Awesome. You're painting along. I'm so happy. Wasn't sure if anyone would. Well, thanks, guys. So let's see. 10:30. I have half an hour. Is that right? 9:30, 10:30, 11:30. No, I have an hour. Holy geez. Well, we could do a few little cards of watercolor. I could do my giveaway first, and then we can do some watercolor. I thought we could do you remember all the old crew here from Ustream? Do you remember when I did the little tiny little watercolor cards and I punched out the moons and stuff? Do you remember when I did that? I thought it'd be kind of fun to do a few of those. Hi, Lena. Thanks. You remember, Brenda? And Helene? Oh, good. I thought we could do a few of those. Those were so much fun. So we'll give the giveaway and then some watercolor. Let me get my phone. Oh, heck, I got paint on my finger and my phone won't come on. All right, let's see. We have, I guess I'll do it the same way that Dee Dee does it. So what you're going to get, where did I put it, is this box of Inktense blocks. That's what I used here. So it gives you, let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 colors. And I use them like I would paint or watercolor. And this hasn't been opened. It's all brand new. So I will send that to anybody, international too. So I'm going to do it like Dee Dee. And so one number only. And when I type in go, and it's the closest without going over. All right. So mods, are you all ready? All right. Go. I'll give you a minute to get her all in. Regina, it's a giveaway for these ink tents. If you want to put a number in, I'm going to do random.org, and whoever gets the number right gets these, and I'll mail them out to you. Put a number in. All right. Ready? Stop. All right, so one between 1 and 100. Oh, wait a minute. And the number is 23. So whoever has 23 or under wins. So mods, could you check for me? CV has 22. No one has 23. CB, do you like ink tents? Awesome. Congrats. I don't know if I still have your there's my email. So if you could email me your address. It was the first one without going over. So whoever was the first to put in. Okay, CB was, wait a minute. CB was the first? Awesome. All right, CB, these are for you. Brand new, never been used. All right. So I'll put those aside for CB. And we'll put this up. And I've got a few of these ready. And we'll just, this is watercolor paper that I'm using. It's 140 pounds. I will bring you guys in a little bit. There we go. Okay, so I guess I better get my watercolors out here. So, many, many moons ago, we used to do this. play with watercolor. And it's more or less landscapes. And this is just a very quick way of doing a landscape, but letting your water and paint do its own thing. Get a bigger brush. There we go. So I want to wet the surface first. Nice and wet. Let's see, what color should we use? Let's use a nice blue, cerulean blue maybe. And maybe a nice green. And all you do is let the paint do its thing. This one doesn't bloom very much. Let's try the cerulean. Give a little bit more. And we'll let that bleed and do whatever it's going to do. Another one out here. Well, that one's, I'm not going to put mine down on the, I want to lift these up, so I'm not going to tape it to the ground. So I want this nice and juicy. And let's go moody. Let's see what this does. So this one, we're going to let it do its thing. Maybe add some green in it. Okay, we'll let that sit for a minute. I'm going to prop it up. See how it moves? Okay, I'm going to just let that dry on an angle so it doesn't go back. Let's see what we can do with this one. It's still wet, so if we tilt it, let it do its thing. I like doing these because then you never know what you're going to get, and you can make some really cool stuff out of them. So let's leave that one to do its thing. Now let's do, I'm going to do one, and I'm going to leave a portion that's not going to get any water. Okay. Let's see what color this is. Green, maybe. Let's do a really dark sky. What's this? Ooh. So we're just letting it travel. I'm going to leave that one flat, see what it does. Even blooms I like. Okay. So it's basically just playing with watercolor. Let's put some red in here. See what it does. And then seeing what you can get out of it. So let's put that one down. Now I think the ones we did were probably smaller than this, but see how you have the really soft so to me, you could, let's see, take a really dark green again, go across. Let it run. Maybe a little bit of black in here in the bottom. Let it run down here. I think I might have to go upstairs. I hear Coco whining. She probably has to go out. Let that dry. I haven't done these in a while. I should have practiced. What color is this? Now, if we take this, can remember I made a oh, what was it? Aurora once doing this. So you just kind of let it do its thing. Let it seep. It's kind of messy, but it's fun. Let the color Okay, I'm going to let that sit now. Are you all in bed with? No, I've seen it done, and saltwater, and I've seen the other one of alcohol in the water. That is really cool, and everything just explodes. Okay, guys, I gotta let Coco out. So talk among yourselves. right, I'm back. Well, this one. Could probably add more to that. My water's too dirty though. And this one kind of looks like a pond to me. So let's dry this one. It's almost dry. Question, what paints are they? These ones are Daniel Smith Payne's Gray. Oh no, that's a Winsor Newton Payne's Gray. The black one is MG Lamp Black. And it's, I think the blues were, let's see. Quinn Cerulean Blue and Winsor Newton Cobalt Blue. And the green was Hooker's Green by MG. M. Graham. I got a mix of M. Graham, Daniel Smith, Winsor Newton, Golden Core. Yeah, a bit of a mix. I took some classes with different artists, and you know how different artists like different paints. So that's how I got a mix. No, they don't bloom as much. Every manufacturer makes them differently. Student grade has a little more filler in them, so it stops them from bursting, blooming like that. M. Graham? You haven't heard of M. Graham? They're made out of a honey. Their binder is a honey, so they don't really dry hard. They stay moist. They're really a nice paint. They have some really nice colors too. All right. So while this is drying, I'm going to use some pens on this, I think. So I like using pens in my watercolors. So let's put this, glue this back down. So for me, this to me looks like it would be a pond or the lake, maybe. And this could be like a cedar. Go going up the sky there. A bunch of them maybe. Maybe this is a tree. This could be grasses along the edge of the water. So this here could be the reflection of the trees in the water. Now the nice thing about using these pens is I can go back in with watercolor if I want to add some more detail. So I can get my smaller brush here. Let's see, do a bit of that Hooker's green again, I guess. Just dry brush. Some lower areas there. Could make some more. That's the nice thing about pen and ink. You can go back and add stuff without worrying that your ink's going to Happy New Year, Jean! Hope you have a fantastic, healthy, and creative year. And to anyone else that's celebrating right now. Let's see what else we can. We could do maybe some pale trees back here. So we have some Could make some evergreens and be in the distance. So they'll dry lighter. So the lighter your evergreens, the further back they are. The darker your evergreens, the more in front they are. So you get more of an atmospheric look. I haven't done a whole lot of watercolor, but I do enjoy it. I want to do some atmospheric stuff. Let's put some darker ones in, maybe up in the front here. Maybe some trees. Bushes. Might have a few that are laying in the background here. Logs. Kind of swampy looking. Might have some bulrushes in here. And then I think we'll put some birds. Maybe we'll have a duck. Let's see if we can make a duck. It's hard to tell. Some birds flying. There. Yeah, happy trees. So kind of a swampy area looks like. But this is the fun thing about these, is you can make up whatever you're seeing in the watercolor. I think they're fun. Okay, this one almost dry. What can we do with this one? I think, let's see, what time is it? Okay. Let's put a village in this one. This here, let's see. We could have Still have this maybe along the edge of the bush area or the woods and the silhouetted trees. Let's see. That looks like a tree branch right there. That's more water to the, make it less, make some atmospheric. So these are easy because you don't have to worry about if they're correct looking. Can put some bush in. This could be water right in here. Make this darker right here. I guess we'll have to put reflections in. If it's still water, I guess I could make some, it's too late now. I could have made them, well, I can still do it. To reflections kind of kind of ghostly looking. Oh, here's another thing that they did too. I wonder if I can do it. Let's make some rocks. No, it's too dried too much. There. Yeah, so you just play and see what the water can do. I'll have to get doing a few more of these, and then I'll do a better stream about this. I should have put some moon in and everything. I don't know if I can take some out now or not. But they're fun to do. You can do all kinds of stuff with. Just get out a bunch of, I don't know, even sponges are cool to use. You dip them in your black paint and then put them on your watercolor, and you can make rocks for a pebbled beach. Or you can make waves, the splashing of the waves with the white gouache. It's neat. There's so many different ways you can play with things. So let's take some. I always like taking the tape off. It looks so much nicer. There. See, kind of moody looking. So you got the whatever you want, or Boris or whatever, and it could be a fire, maybe a fire in the distance. It could be all kinds of things. But you just play and look at what could it be? What could I have in there? Fun. Let's take this one off now. I better. It's always good to heat this. And it's easier taking the tape off. There. There's two. And you could put them, you could frame these in little frames, picture frames. You can do all kinds of stuff with them. You could use them in cards for a card. Yep, this is watercolor paper. It's cold pressed, 140 pound. This is the B paper that you can get on Amazon. It works just fine with this. And if you don't like the curl, all I do is get some parchment paper and put it over top and iron it. Thanks, Lena. Thanks, you guys. I'm glad you like it. So if you want to watch me do and you want to know more about drawing or pan pastels, colored pencils, acrylic paint, I could go on and on and on because I love doing it all. So ring the bell, subscribe, and you'll get notifications. I'm on every Thursday afternoon at 1 Eastern, and I do all kinds of stuff. Lately, I've been doing the drawing. I just finished doing a bunch of classes on the basics of drawing. So if you're interested in learning how to draw, you could check those out. It gives you the basics, and they are important to learn, or it just makes things easier if you learn these particular things. Thanks, Jean. And I'm so glad you let me. And I hope you feel better soon and you're back and up to streaming on Mondays. That would be awesome. Thanks so much, everybody, for joining me. And actually, I'll be on this Thursday. Maybe we'll do some more of these. I don't know. We'll see what the rest of the week brings. So the next person that's going to be on is Janet. Oh, thanks, CB. Don't forget to email me your your address, the right address, if you remember the last time. Yep. Choo-choo. So Janet, if you want to come on a little bit early, you could. So have a fantastic evening and a happy New Year's to everybody here. Wishing you much prosperity, peace, love, and creativity. So I'll let you guys go to Janet's, and then I'll see you there probably. I'll just bring this stuff upstairs so my puppies aren't mad at me anymore. They get quite upset when I come down here. So we'll see you all at Janet's. If you want to go in, Jean's put up her blog post where you can find her link, and we'll see you there. Thanks for coming, guys.